My name is Elena Harper, and at 36, I never imagined I'd be standing in my kitchen in Willow Creek, Vermont, reading a goodbye note from my husband of 12 years. The words stared back at me from the back of our electric bill, scrawled in Ryan's messy handwriting, "I'm done with you and your boring life. I'm taking everything and this house is sold by the way. Enjoy what's left." It hit me like a slap across the face. My hands trembled as shock, hurt, and anger surged through me. Strangely, though, what rose strongest was a calm determination. I pulled out my phone and typed a simple reply, "Saw your note. Thanks for the heads up." Ryan always dismissed my handcrafted jewelry business as my little hobby. But I had built a successful online store from our cozy home in this quiet Vermont town. Looking back, the signs were obvious: late nights at the office, hushed phone calls, the way he'd slam his laptop shut when I entered the room. What Ryan didn't know was that I wasn't as naive as he believed. 6 months earlier, while paying bills, I noticed large sums transferring from our joint account to one I didn't recognize. When I mentioned it casually, Ryan brushed it off as business investments. That's when I knew I had to protect myself. On the outside, I remained a supportive wife, but inside, I was preparing for war. I started documenting everything: unexplained expenses, suspicious calls, nights he claimed to work late while his office building sat dark. I opened a separate bank account and quietly moved my savings there. I confided in Lauren, my best friend since college and a sharp divorce attorney in Burlington. She explained my rights and options clearly. Most crucially, during our recent home renovation, a charming craftsman-style house on Maple Street, I refinanced the property solely in my name. Ryan, too preoccupied with his investments, never noticed. Now, standing in my kitchen reading his pathetic power play, a slight smile tugged at my lips. Ryan always underestimated me, treating me like some clueless housewife playing at business. He probably thought this note would break me, leave me begging him to return. Instead, I felt liberated. The pretense was over. I took a deep breath, smoothed my blouse, and opened my laptop. It was time to act. Ryan wanted to play hardball. Fine. But he was about to learn I'd been training for this longer than he realized. The deception had started small. Last Christmas, he gave me a silver bracelet that looked expensive but was a cheap knockoff, I'd know, after years working with fine jewelry. When I confronted him, he called me materialistic and ungrateful, twisting things to make me doubt myself. That was Ryan's way, always making me the unreasonable one. Our marriage wasn't always like this. In the early days in Willow Creek, Ryan supported my dreams. He helped launch my first online store and toasted with champagne over my first big sale. But as my business grew, jealousy crept in. He made snide remarks at dinner parties about my little online shop, acting like his accounting job was real work. I remembered landing a contract with a major department store chain. Instead of celebrating, Ryan barely looked up from his phone. "That's nice, honey." That night, I cried, not from sadness, but anger at myself for letting him diminish me. The real wake-up call came 3 months ago. Over coffee, my sister Brooke, who works at the local bank Ryan used, hesitated before saying she'd seen concerning withdrawals and transfers. "I think he's planning something," she whispered, gripping my hand. "Protect yourself." That changed everything. That conversation with Brooke shifted my perspective. I began noticing details I'd ignored: Ryan insisting on handling finances despite my business experience, mysterious weekend business trips he couldn't explain, phone calls that ended abruptly when I walked in. Each clue was a puzzle piece I'd avoided seeing. I reached out to Lauren again. Over lunch at our favorite cafe in Willow Creek, she listened intently, then gave me a hard look. Elena, you're smart, successful, and stronger than you realize. Stop playing the role they've assigned you. Start playing chess instead of checkers. So I did. While Ryan thought I was occupied with my hobby, I documented every suspicious transaction, every absence, every lie. I kept my plans secret, maintained my routine, and played the trusting wife while preparing for the storm. The day after finding Ryan's note, an email from our real estate agent, Tyler, arrived with the subject, urgent, house sale documentation required. My heart skipped. Ryan had tried listing our house, but he couldn't proceed without my signature. The refinancing had put it solely in my name. I remembered that day clearly. Ryan had been too busy for the bank meeting, casually telling me to handle it. He'd signed a power of attorney without reading it, assuming I'd manage details while he made big decisions. His carelessness became his biggest mistake. I called Tyler immediately. There's been a misunderstanding, I said calmly. I haven't authorized any sale. There was an awkward pause. Tyler explained Ryan had been insistent, assuming everything was handled. Then my phone buzzed, a text from Ryan, call the real estate agent. Sign the papers when they come. I'll give you 24 hours to pack your stuff. The contempt boiled my blood, but I stayed composed. This was the moment I'd prepared for. I dialed Lauren. It's time, I said. She understood instantly. We'd prepared for months, gathering evidence, drafting papers. Unlike Ryan's schemes, ours were airtight. Remember, Lauren said, don't respond to his messages. Let him think he's in control. We'll hit him with everything at once, the protected deed, documented transfers, all of it. Her confidence fueled mine. This wasn't just about assets anymore, it was about standing up after years of subtle manipulation. I sat at my desk, glancing at a framed photo of Ryan and me from happier times. The smiling woman looked like a stranger now. I placed the frame in a drawer. For the first time, I held all the cards. The next morning, angry texts flooded in. Why isn't the house listed? Tyler says paperwork problem. Stop playing games and sign. His frustration grew as plans unraveled. I was finalizing jewelry orders in my home office when the doorbell rang. Ryan stood on the porch, face flushed with rage. This was the first I'd seen him since the note, yet I felt only calm determination. What did you do? He demanded, pushing past me. Tyler says I can't sell without your signature. Impossible, I handled finances. I crossed my arms. Did you? Like you handled my business accounts, the ones you've secretly drained. His face paled slightly. What are you talking about? I made investments for our future. You wouldn't understand, you just play with beats. Actually, I understand perfectly. I walked to my desk, pulling out a thick folder. I understand you've siphoned money from joint accounts. Tried selling a house in my name. Thought I was too stupid to notice. His expression shifted from anger to confusion, then fear. What do you mean the house is only in your name? Remember the refinancing you were too busy to read? The meeting you skipped? You signed over your rights. The house is mine, just like the business you called a hobby, now worth more than your salary. He sank onto the couch, arrogance deflating. You can't do this. I have plans needing my money, my house, my compliant wife. But here's what happens, I interrupted. You leave my house. My lawyer contacts you about divorce and those funds. Ryan tried straightening his tie. You're bluffing. You don't have the resources to fight me. I pulled another folder. Like these statements showing withdrawals. Emails you left open discussing leaving. Or the private investigator's report on your Vegas trips. His face drained of color. You hired a PI. No, Lauren did. Remember her. The coffee friend you never took seriously, one of Vermont's best divorce attorneys. He paced, crumbling. This isn't how it was supposed to go. You were supposed to break down, beg, accept crumbs. I shook my head. Not happening. Joint accounts are frozen, legally, with proof of unauthorized withdrawals. The house stays. My business was never yours. His phone buzzed. Blood drained from his face. Your lawyer. She's filing. Yes. Emergency hearing on the transfers too. We have everything, transactions, emails, lies. Ryan slumped back, defeated. I didn't think you'd fight back. You always went along. That was your biggest mistake, I replied. You underestimated me so much, you never noticed I'd stopped underestimating myself. The doorbell rang, Lauren, right on schedule. Ryan's panic set in as he realized how outmaneuvered he was. You should leave, I said firmly. Further communication goes through lawyers. I opened the door. Lauren stood with a professional smile and briefcase of documents. As Ryan passed, he looked like a shadow of the man who'd left that cruel note. Elena, please, we can talk. Like you talked about selling our house. Or draining accounts. Lauren placed a hand on my shoulder, keeping me focused. Ryan's phone rang, his bank. Lauren had warned, filing triggered an investigation into suspicious transfers. He answered, face growing distressed. Frozen. No, you don't understand, I need access. He looked at me desperately, finally grasping his plans had backfired. Lauren stepped forward. Mr. Caldwell, contact your attorney. We have substantial evidence of financial misconduct. Courts take this seriously. Ryan's legs gave out. He sank onto the front steps of what was no longer his home. Tears streamed, not remorse, but frustration and defeat. Everything crumbled. I never thought. He began. That's right, I interrupted. You never thought I'd stand up. Never thought I'd protect myself. Never thought I'd walk away. That's why you left a note instead of talking, because you never knew me. As he walked to his car, Lauren squeezed my hand. You did good, Elena. Really good. She'd been my rock, helping me find hidden strength. Ryan's car disappeared around the corner. A weight lifted. No more secret bank checks, no more documenting lies, no more docile wife role. I was free. In the weeks that followed, I rebuilt. My jewelry business, once dismissed, became my sanctuary. Orders poured in. I expanded without snide comments about wasting money. Lauren updated me on proceedings. Ryan hired an aggressive attorney, but it didn't matter, we had meticulous documentation. The judge focused on his financial misconduct trail. Those investments. Gambling losses in Vegas, hidden accounts. The house remained mine. I redecorated slowly, erasing Ryan room by room. I painted the living room deep blue, he'd always vetoed it. Converted his office into my jewelry studio. Bought that antique workbench I'd eyed for years. Each change reclaimed a piece of me. Brooke visited often, helping sort memories. Remember how he mocked your hobby at family gatherings, she said one evening over old photos. Now you're in 3 major magazines, and he's in a 1-bedroom apartment. She was right. The business thrived fully focused. I hired 2 assistants, a department store picked up my newest collection. Irony hit hard. What Ryan belittled sustained me, while his smart investments left him nearly bankrupt. Friends rallied unexpectedly. Lauren, beyond attorney, spent evenings helping process everything. Over wine one night, you're not just surviving, you're flourishing. She was right. I felt stronger, more confident, more myself than in years. Divorce revealed more deceptions. Bank's investigation showed years of gambling, hiding losses, planning to cover with house sale money. When that failed, everything collapsed. One morning, Tyler emailed, apologizing for his role in the attempted sale. He asked if I'd help his wife choose jewelry for their anniversary. I smiled at the irony. My hobby now earned respect from those who dismissed it. The hardest part wasn't legal battles or loneliness, it was confronting how much I'd buried myself to maintain a happy marriage illusion. I'd dimmed my light, shrunk dreams, doubted instincts for years. But sitting in my studio, working a custom piece as Vermont sunshine streamed in, I realized I was finally living on my own terms. 6 months after Ryan's note, I attended a local business owners gala in Burlington, the first major event since the divorce. I almost skipped it, but Lauren insisted, time to rejoin the world properly. I wore a sleek black dress Ryan would have called too flashy, paired with pieces from my latest collection. Walking into the ballroom, I caught my reflection, barely recognizing the confident woman staring back. Gone was the hesitant wife checking with her husband first. During the evening, I ran into former couple friends. Most knew about the divorce through gossip. Wives especially seemed different, more open, real. Claire pulled me aside. Your story gave me courage to examine my marriage closely. Hearing how you handle everything made me realize I don't have to accept being treated like I'm stupid just because I chose my own business over corporate life. The gala was also where I met Ethan, a widowed artisan crafting custom wooden jewelry boxes. We talked for hours about craftsmanship and creative businesses. He examined my work with genuine interest, asking intelligent questions about techniques. Not once did he call it cute or a hobby. It wasn't romance yet, but a reminder that some people saw me truly. Ryan tried contacting me a few times, especially after the court-ordered repayment of drained funds. Messages swung from anger to pleading, but they didn't affect me. The last time, he apologized, not for the note or theft attempt, but for not appreciating what we had. I didn't respond. Some chapters close better that way. My business grew steadily. I expanded into teaching jewelry making workshops, something Ryan called a waste of time. Classes filled immediately. Watching women discover creativity became one of my greatest joys. Many shared stories like mine, dreams deferred, talents dismissed, potential buried under expectations. The house Ryan tried selling became a true sanctuary. I hosted monthly gatherings for local female entrepreneurs in my restored dining room, once echoing with his dismissive comments, now filled with laughter and encouragement. Looking back on that morning finding the note, I realized it wasn't the end Ryan intended, it was the beginning I needed. The trembling woman in the kitchen could never have imagined her future strength. Every tear, every late night over statements and documents, every doubt and fear led here. My jewelry business expanded beyond dreams, now shipping internationally, featured in major fashion magazines. The little hobby, Scorn now employed 8 people with a custom piece waiting list. But more than business success, I was proud of the woman I'd become. The other day, finding Ryan's note in a drawer, reading, "I'm done with you and your boring life," made me laugh aloud. My life was anything but boring now. I traveled to artisan fairs, taught women to create and value their work, built a community I never knew I needed. Lauren often said I should write a book. But I told my story differently, true strength shown to women where I once was. At workshops, I saw recognition in eyes, knowing they found courage to stand up. Sometimes, working late in my studio, I thought how differently things could have turned if I hadn't sensed the storm, hadn't documented, hadn't built my safety net. Ryan's note could have devastated me, instead, it liberated me. Last week, a letter from Ryan's sister said he still struggled rebuilding. He finally admitted regretting underestimating me, his arrogance cost everything. Part of me hoped he'd learned, but I no longer felt responsible for his growth. My life took a direction unimaginable while married to Ryan. The house became a home for creativity and empowerment. The business became inspiration for women. I'd become strong, independent, unapologetically successful. Yesterday, a young woman in my workshop asked if I regretted how things ended with Ryan. I showed her the simple silver ring I'd made post-divorce, engraved inside, "Trust your strength." That's what this journey taught, we are all stronger than we know. Sometimes a cruel kitchen note reveals it. Reflecting on Willow Creek life now, the quiet streets felt different, mine, fully. Morning started with coffee on the porch, watching autumn leaves fall, planning new designs. No more tension wondering if Ryan would dismiss my ideas. The business thrived in ways I'd only dreamed. International shipping meant packages headed to Europe and Asia. Features in Vogue and Elle brought inquiries daily. I hired more staff, turning the garage into extra workspace. What began as a kitchen table side project now supported a team and inspired others. Lauren and I met often, not just for legal updates, but friendship. She celebrated milestones, first six-figure months, first workshop series sold out. You turn pain into power, she said. Brooke visited weekends, bringing her kids. They'd play in the yard while we talked. You were always the strong one, she said. Ryan just never let you show it. I reconnected with old friends who drifted during marriage. Dinners turned into honest conversations, many admitted similar struggles. My story sparked quiet revolutions in their lives too. Ethan and I crossed paths again at a craft fair in Burlington. We grabbed coffee, discussing techniques and challenges. His respect felt refreshing, no belittling, just admiration. It wasn't rushing into anything, but nice knowing genuine connection existed. One evening, sorting old boxes, I found wedding photos. The couple looked happy, but I saw cracks now, my hesitant smile, Ryan's distant gaze. I kept a few for memory, but most went. No need clinging to illusions. The house evolved too. Guest room became retreat space for workshop attendees staying over. Dining room hosted potlucks for women entrepreneurs, sharing wins, venting setbacks, lifting each other. Ryan's attempts at contact faded. Last message was months ago, vague regret. I blocked him fully. Peace came from boundaries, not closure from him. Professionally, I launched an online course, From Hobby to Empire. Thousands enrolled, many crediting my story for motivation. Comments poured in, "You showed me I could leave too," or "I started my side business because of you." Each one reminded, impact went beyond jewelry. I was helping women claim power. Winter in Vermont arrived, snow blanketing Maple Street. I sat by the fireplace designing spring collection, feeling content. No more shrinking to fit someone's expectations. Lauren joked about running for local office one day, using my story to advocate for financial literacy in marriages. I laughed, but part of me considered it. Mostly, I savored freedom. Mornings journaling ideas, afternoons creating, evenings with friends or alone reading. Simple joys felt profound after years suppressing them. The note that once shattered me now sat framed in my studio, not as trophy, but reminder, rock bottom can launch you higher. I no longer define success by Ryan's standards. It was measured in independence, impact, joy. Yesterday's workshop ended with applause. A participant hugged me, "Thank you for showing us we're enough." I smiled, ring glinting. Yes, we are. A year after the note, Willow Creek felt reborn. Spring brought lilacs blooming along my street, mirroring internal renewal. Business hit milestones, first pop-up shop downtown, partnership with Vermont Artisan Collective. I traveled more, New York trade shows, California retreats. Each trip reinforced, world was bigger than one dismissive marriage. Back home, I renovated further, added sunroom studio overlooking garden. Plants Ryan called clutter now thrived. Garden became metaphor, neglected things flourish with care. Workshops grew diverse, teens discovering creativity, retirees restarting passions, women post-divorce rebuilding. Stories varied, but theme united, reclaiming voice. One participant, mid-40s, shared leaving toxic job after my talk. "Your courage gave me mine." Moments like that fueled me more than sales. Ethan and I grew closer, casual coffees turned dinners. He understood creative life pressures. No pressure, just mutual respect. Slow pace felt right after past rush. Brooke threw surprise party for business anniversary. Friends, family, students filled house. Lauren toasted, "To Elena, proof underestimated women rise strongest." Laughter echoed where silence once lingered. Ryan's life updates trickled via mutuals. He'd moved to larger city, struggled financially. Part pitted him, but mostly indifferent. His choices, not my burden. Legal loose ends tied. Final settlement favored me, heavily, thanks evidence. House, business, savings protected. Closure felt anticlimactic, real victory was daily freedom. I started blog, unapologetic creator. Posts mix jewelry tips, entrepreneurship, personal growth. Readers worldwide connected, sharing breakthroughs. One post went viral, "The day a note ended my marriage and started my life." Comments flooded, women thanking me for naming silent struggles. Media noticed. Local paper featured me, Willow Creek entrepreneur turns adversity into empire. National outlets followed. Interviews focused not on drama, but resilience. I spoke at women's conferences, sharing journey without bitterness. Emphasis, preparation, self-trust, community. Ethan attended one. Afterward, "Watching you own the stage, proud doesn't cover it." His support felt equal, not overshadowing. Summer brought first international workshop, virtual, but participants from 5 countries. Exhilarating seeing global impact. House hosted retreat weekend, 10 women, 3 days creating, connecting. Evenings by firepit sharing stories. Tears, laughter, breakthroughs. One said, "Coming here felt like permission to dream again." That permission was what I'd sought, and now gave. Fall returned. Leaves turned fiery red. I walked Maple Street, breathing crisp air. Gratitude swelled, for pain that forced growth, people who lifted me, strength discovered. Business employed 12 now. Waiting list for customs months long. But biggest pride, community built. Women supporting women, echoing what I'd needed. Lauren and I planned vacation, girls trip to Maine coast. No agendas, just relaxation. Life felt balanced: creation, connection, contribution. Sometimes late nights, I'd think of kitchen moment, trembling, reading note. That woman seemed distant now. She'd evolved into someone unafraid, unapologetic. Ring on finger caught light, trust your strength. I did. Fully. 2 years post-note, Willow Creek home buzzed with life. Studio expanded, garden thrived. Business global brand, stocked in boutiques across country, online thriving. But legacy wasn't sales, it was lives touched. Hundreds women credited Journey for starting businesses, leaving bad situations, believing in worth. Annual gala invitation arrived, same Burlington event where Ethan and I met. This time, I keynote, from dismissed hobby to empowering empire. Room filled friends, supporters, strangers. I shared openly, no sugarcoating pain, but focusing triumph. Strength isn't absence of fear, I said. It's acting despite it. Sometimes catalyst is cruel note, or realization you're worth more. Applause thundered. Afterward, line formed, women hugging, thanking, sharing. One said, "Your story saved my marriage, not by staying, but knowing I could leave if needed." Ethan waited backstage, flowers in hand. "You were incredible." Our relationship deepened, steady, supportive. He proposed last month under autumn maples in yard. Simple yes felt right. Wedding planned small, backyard, close loved ones. No rush, we'd both known loss, valued what built slowly. Brooke hosted bachelorette, laughing over wine about old times. Who knew Ryan's exit would lead here? Lauren toasted, to second chances, and women writing their endings. Business launch non-profit arm, scholarships for women starting creative ventures. First recipients single moms, abuse survivors. Giving back felt full circle. House transformed completely, no trace of old tensions. Walls held new memories, workshops, holidays, love. One quiet evening, I sat on porch watching snowfall, first of season. Ring sparkled, new engagement band beside strength ring. I thought of note, still in drawer, rarely looked at. No anger remained, just faint amusement. Life anything but boring now. Traveling, teaching, loving, leading. Community strong, women lifting each other daily. Sometimes I wondered alternate path, if I'd beg Ryan stay, ignored signs. But no regrets. Path led here, stronger, happier, truer self. Young woman emailed, "Inspired by you, I left bad relationship, started business." Thank you. I replied, "You did hard part, trusting yourself. Keep going." That was message I wish younger me heard. Now I lived it, unapologetically. Willow Creek lights twinkled below hill. Home. Not just house, sanctuary, launchpad, heart. I close eyes, breathing deeply. From kitchen slab to this piece, journey worth every step. We are stronger than we know. Sometimes cruel note helps discover it. And when we do, we soar.